Hello. You ready? Here we go. Oh, shit. Where am I at? I'm way on the other side of the planet here. Hold on, everyone. Got to get the cursor back where it should be. Here we go.
Well, I don't know what this thing is. Greg gets a strip show, dance show.
Work there, dude.
Welcome to DeaconLive.
DeaconLive.
Welcome back, guys. On today's show, the conspiracy behind the furry death of the day before Groundhog's Day, and we are killing the planet with our cooking. And tell me something about your job trend and what's happening at the Golden Corral Stakeout. I don't like the way that started, so I'm going to start all over, and you guys are going to have to suffer and go through it again. I'm sorry. It's just one of those days I just don't feel like doing something today, so hold on, I'll start it over. I know. Tough shit. That's what you get.
Well, I don't know what this thing is. Greg gets a strip show, dance show.
Work there, dude.
More pep. I'll give you more pep. Welcome back, guys. On today's show, the conspiracy behind the furry death the day before Groundhog's Day, and we are killing the planet with our cooking, and the tell me about something about your job trend on TikTok, and what happened at the Golden Corral Stakeout. All this and much, much more will be discussed here on DeaconLive. How are you? How are things? Is that better? Is it more peppier for you? I know. I'm just in this funk. Nothing really has happened too much this week. I mean, as far as news-wise, there's a lot that's been going on. But as far as personally in my life, I wrote down a couple things here. I don't know. I'll touch on each one of them. A friend of mine who had cancer for a long time, unfortunately passed away this past Monday. Or, I'm sorry, past Tuesday. What's today? I don't even know what day it is. Hold on, let me get this right. Passed away this past Monday, and she was battling cancer and stuff, and then had complications of COVID as well. So I don't know the combination of the treatment that she was going through, and I don't understand, how do you get COVID if everyone's masked, everyone in the hospital? You would think that would be the cleanest place to not get COVID or any shape, form, variants thereof of COVID. You know, you got the mask on, you've got a very fragile patient. And one of her posts was back on the 24th of this month saying, hey, look, you know, cancer and COVID sucks. And she's going through that. And unfortunately, she just passed away after a long battle with cancer. I know I'm bringing you down for at least the last 4 to 5 years that I can remember. Another thing that I wrote down here, just a real small little thing. My wife does these Zoom call meetings, and I was listening to her. My gaming room is half of her office. So I have headphones on. I have to watch my language. And so in her office, she does Zoom call meetings, and then she has to take a little break, and then she came back, and I actually heard her say this word right here. She said, sorry, I had to go take a bio break. I said, a bio break? In my head, I'm like, bio break? I'm like, that's kind of weird. It sounds like you're messing with beakers and test tubes. And I asked her later on, I said, well, where did you hear that? She's like, I don't know, I just picked it up, you know, at where I work at, and people started using it instead of going to the bathroom. I prefer you to say I have to go to the bathroom than a bio break. It sounds like you're doing too much scientific stuff. Also, another thing I wrote down here, just real simple stuff, and then we'll dive into the show here. We got a big show for you, so stick around. And for those of you who don't know, we broadcast just outside of Charlotte, North Carolina, a beautiful little town we like to call Marshville. We sit on about 22 some odd acres. We have outside animals and inside animals, horses, chickens, cattle, goats. The neighbors' cats are back. They were getting fixed, so the neighbors' cats are back on our property. And so that's what we do here. Another thing I wrote down real quick was we're still waiting for the new truck, the new design for Chevy to come out and to put in our order for a new. Now my wife wants to get a 2500 Chevy Silverado high country or something like that to pull the horse trailer. And so we sat around looking for that. So we're still in limbo with that. We were going back and forth as far as, do we need a 1500? Do we need a 2500? Do we need a diesel or a 6.6 liter? And we went back and forth on that. Just the conversation we had with that. And the one thing that we do, or I did, is my wife and I, we still have a couple properties in Florida, and now's a great time to refinance out there. So we were refinancing one of the properties that had 2 loans on it, a first and second mortgage. Combine those with the lower interest rate. I know this is riveting. Believe me, we'll get into the what's going on here in the news feed here in just one sec, and all the little TikTok trends that are out there. And I went to the desk to get a cashier's check. The title company comes up and you give them the cashier's check for the difference of the balance of the escrow. So I'm at the desk with the lady, and she's from Russia. And she's like, yes, can I help you? And I'm like going, yeah, I need to get a cashier's check. Okay, who is it made out to? I'm like, shit, I don't know. So I'm texting my wife, and she says, make it out to Wells Fargo Bank, who's actually doing the refinance at the same time. I said, Wells Fargo. She looked at me, she goes, cashier's check, you could write, I had to put something in there, but money order, you can do, write anything you want in there. I'm like, just give me the cashier's check. Okay. And she's got a mask on, she's rolling her eyes, and she gets up and walks away. And I'm looking at everyone behind the counter, and I'm like, God, there is no one behind the counter that's over the age, and I'm doing this very liberal brush that I'm painting with. No one is over the age of 30. And I remember walking to the bank sometimes, you would get some quote unquote, what we call lifers, and they would sit there. You knew exactly who they were. You felt confident giving them your money, your paychecks and stuff. And now they've got all these kids in there. And I guess just it's a result of the way we are right now with people quitting, people leaving their jobs, older people not wanting to go into work or leaving the job because they're afraid of the COVID. Now everyone behind the counter, behind the glass, the bulletproof glass that they have up now, had their mask on. But, they're doing the whole... When they talk to you, they'll pull the mask down and talk to you and then put the mask back up. It just doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. Anyway, so she comes back over with a cashier's check, and she looks at me and rolls her eyes, and she's like, here's your check, and if you don't use the check, you just bring it back, and we'll put it back in your account. Like she's judging me. Hello, Romania, Ramona. Stop judging me. You're lucky to be here. We had that other guy in office, you'd be having some problems. I don't know. Maybe she snuck in under the radar. All right, guys, we have a big show to get into, lots to get into, lots to talk about, and you can be part of the show, and the way you do that is go over to Prophet Radio, Prophet Radio, click on Be Heard, opens up a little microphone on your tablet, your phone, your PC, whatever you're watching this or listening to us on, and you can leave a voice message, comes right to our inbox, and we play it on this podcast if you can get it in now during the live stream. If not, we can play it on the very next podcast, and you can ask us any question about anything that goes on here, past podcasts or future podcasts. Or you can just give it a little shout out. Happy birthday, my cousin Joey. I love him. Happy birthday. He's only 3. All right. Stick around, guys. Big show. You're listening to Deacon Live right here on Prophet Radio. I'll be right back. Welcome back to Deacon Live. You want something for free? Of course you do. Everyone wants something for free, and the way you do that is go over to Prophet Radio, Prophet Radio. Click on Free Swag, and there's a little form right there. Just put your name and address and stuff. Believe me, I got too much shit going on. I'll send you out some stickers, some magnets for you. Just a little thank you for listening to us, sharing us, and just being our friend. I'd like to say thank you. I hope I am your friend, and you are mine already. Now, happy Groundhog's Day, by the way. Just throwing that out there. And Groundhog's Day, for those overseas that listen to us, is basically they take this rodent that hibernates throughout the winter, and if he comes out and sees a shadow, it's folklore, he goes back into his cubby hole and hibernates for another 6 weeks, meaning another 6 weeks of winter. Now, if he comes out and starts walking around, starts, gathering food, then spring will come early. Now, there's this big controversy that's going out there. They were saying the groundhog has officially, well, I'm not going to give it away, but they said that the groundhog has died. Now, we have groundhogs in every state that want to glom onto this whole Punxsutawney film, which the movie Groundhog Day was based upon with Bill Murray. So New Jersey is no stranger to this as well. New Jersey has Milltown Mel. Unfortunately, Milltown Mel has died the day before Groundhog's Day. So this is what you've been hearing on your Facebook feed, on your TikTok feeds. This is the groundhog that actually died. It wasn't Punxsutawney Phil in Pennsylvania. This is Milltown Mel. Considering the average lifespan of a groundhog is about 3 years, and which is not a shock that Mel left us in such a rough time this year with only few groundhogs hibernating this year. It's so hard to replace him because there are no babies yet until spring. So they've tried to find, this is a speaker for Milltown Mel. We have tried to find another groundhog to continue this tradition in our beautiful, lovely town. Unfortunately, we have not been able to. Now, groundhogs last usually about 3 to 4 years. And unfortunately, they didn't have a replacement. So that's who passed away. So in Milltown, New Jersey, Milltown Mel has passed away. So get that straight. Now, what's happened here in Pennsylvania, we'll find out if we have another 6 more weeks of winter. Now, for every podcast we do, we have a matching video as well. And the way you see this video is to go over to profitradio.com. And once the broadcast, well, we're live streaming right now on YouTube, Twitch, and on our Facebook feed. Make sure you like and subscribe there, or follow, I guess. Follow, subscribe. I'm not sure what they say now. And after the broadcast, we'll have this posted later on for you guys to watch it later. Right now, open this one. That's way too big. Way too big for me. Thank you. Go back. So Groundhog Day, Punxsutawney Phil's shadow predicts 6 more weeks of winter. So let's find out what's going on with Punxsutawney Phil and what he has to say about winter coming up.
Are you ready to find out?
Yes. So on average, Phil has gotten it right only about 40% of the time over the last 10 years. This is the 136th year that Phil has made his prediction. Groundhog Day. Oops, sorry, hold on. Groundhog Day origins lie in ancient Europe celebrations of Candlemas. So here we go. This is the actual declaration of what's going to happen.
I have cast.
Hold on. Let me start it over so everyone can see it. We can all be friends. Thank you. You should see these guys. There's a big, huge tree stump, and it's got Phil on the front of it. And all these guys, all these white, older, middle-aged, white guys with all these black jackets on. It looks like a cult, and they all have like the top hats like a magician would have. I'm going to pull a rabbit out of my hat, and this is what they're all gathering around this stupid freaking groundhog. Here he goes.
My shadow I have cast than a long, lustrous 6 more weeks of winter.
Yays and boos. 6 more weeks of winter is what Punxsutawney Phil has declared. So there you go. Get ready, bundle up your kids, run down the street, scream and cry and cause mayhem because 6 more weeks of winter. Now, along with this being Groundhog Day, there's also the new lunar year, and it is a tiger. This tiger year is the new lunar year. Last year was the ox. So as we welcome the lunar year on Tuesday, let's give a collective hug to the year of the ox because of the past. COVID-19 vaccinations allowed our family and friends to hug again. I'm not a big hugger, but shameless is not enough. Because lunar year is tied to the first new moon, and it starts anytime between mid-January and mid-February. Last year, the holiday fell on February 12th. This year, it fell on February 1st, which is yesterday. The Middle English word for future, chance, luck, or lot was hap, H-A-P, or happy. No, it comes from the word haphazard. So anyways, it's Happy Lunar Year, which is the tiger. So hopefully this year will be better for all of us, all those out there that are practicing the new lunar year. Congratulations, I guess. But one of the foods that you have first of the year here in here in America, usually the first of the year, New Year's Day, everyone has collard greens and black-eyed peas or peas of some sort. And it's supposed to, represent money and good wealth and stuff. There's something called turnip cake. And you're like, oh, but this is what they eat. One of the dishes that they eat for the Lunar New Year. Turnip cake, which is called, you ready for this? It's going to sound like I'm making this up, but I'm not. Which is called lo bak goy, Goh. It's Cantonese, and it falls in the latter category as far as what other foods that we have this time of year. Compared to other Lunar New Year's cakes, the turnip cake is most popular for one of few savory flavors in the New Year puddings. Together with freshness of white radishes, it can be quite addictive as a snack or a main dish. So you say, all right, well, why did they call it turnip cake? Well, it's not necessarily turnip. There was a bad translation, but they actually use radishes, green radishes and white radishes to make this cake. So the scientific name of the veggie that was used for this beloved dish, you ready for this? Is called Raphanastrium subpum stativus. Well, I know what stativus is. Isn't that a sugar or something sweet? Activia. I don't think that's something like that. Try saying that with a mouthful of cake. But some of the common names include the Chinese radish or the Japanese radish, which is daikon. So there you go. If you have your new lunar year for the tiger and have some turnip cake, get a second helping for me and let me know how it is. All right, guys, stick around. When we come back, we'll talk to and find out what's going on with IT Dan. And everyone's jumping off the Spotify boat. It gets it sinking fast. There's a lot of holes in it. So stick around. We'll get into that as well. You're listening to Deacon Live right here on Prophet Radio. I'll be right back. There we go. Ow. Welcome back to Deacon Live. Make sure you follow us on all your social networks, and the way you do that is go over to Prophet Radio, Prophet Radio. Click on social contacts, and you can find us on all your Twitch streams, your YouTube streams, your Facebook feeds. Make sure you like and subscribe. Instagram, I'm not over there too much on Instagram. I take pictures of the show notes. A lot of people seem to like all the show notes that I have here, and as I'm waving to the camera. And we broadcast just outside of Charlotte, North Carolina, beautiful little town we like to call Marshville. We sit on about 22 some odd acres. We have horses, chickens, cattle, inside pets, and outside neighbors' cats as well. All right, guys, let's go into and find out what's going on with IT Dan. So this segment is pre-recorded, so give me 1 sec because I got to move everything around. You guys can listen to the full broadcast of IT Dan on wherever you listen to podcasts. iHeartRadio, Spotify, if you haven't jumped off the ship on Spotify, and all those. Come on. Stop giving me a hard time. There we go. All right. All right, guys, stick around. You're listening to Deacon Live right here on Prophet Radio. I'll be right back. Welcome back to Deacon Live. Make sure you follow us on all your social networks and get yourself something for free. Go over to Prophet Radio, Prophet Radio. Click on the podcast section, and you can see all the different podcasts that I'm linked to. I am on Bad Calls, which is Bad Calls here to the station. Telemarketers, you guys hear them all the time, and I try to keep them on the phone as long as I can, making up names and stuff. And it's all real. It's 100%. Check those out. That's Bad Calls. And also, I am a co-host with a new podcast that is called Equine Dynamics with Mike Stein. We go over how to create sounder horses from the ground up, and also I also do Is This Going Somewhere with IT Dan as well. And all those are available on all your podcatchers out there. iHeartRadio, Spotify, so on and so forth. Now, a lot of people are saying that they're having bad ready for this. A lot of people are saying they're having bad reactions to the whatever Hold on.
My headlights are on. Your
Okay, shut up. A lot of people are saying they're having a bad reaction to the vaccines or the boosters or anything like that. And they're saying that there's awkward side effects and everything. This one woman in Australia says that her headlights are on. And when I say headlights, I'm talking about her tits. And she says that her nipples are completely aroused at all time after getting the Pfizer vaccine. Now, I don't know if she's doing this for clout she's probably one of those Instagram, TikToks. She's just doing it to get clicks and likes. But let's hear what she has to say. And don't forget, for every podcast we have a matching video. You can see that as well. Go over to profitradio.com. Let's see what she has to say. What's her name? Let's see. Creator TJ, who runs an Instagram and TikTok account, called it without even reading the episode. It's called Whippa Snippa. Shared an unusual dilemma with her audience on Sunday. She claims that her headlights, quote unquote, headlights remain on even when she was sitting next to a heater when the outdoor temperatures are as cold as 40 degrees. The headlight euphemism. Sorry, the headlight euphemism. Big words make me go funny. The headlight euphemism is typically used when referring to the appearance of the prominent nipples. And, oh, really? They had to put that out there? Duh. If you're a guy and you don't know what the headlights are on, you're an idiot or you're something else. So let's hear what Whippa Snippa has to say.
So everyone's been pointing out to me that in all my videos you can see my headlights. My headlights are on. Your headlights are on. I can see thingies. Yes, I know. I can't help it. And I'm trying to work out why that's happening, especially on a 40-degree day. And I've worked out that I had the double vaccination and I had Pfizer. Now, ever since then, my headlights have been on. 40-degree days, headlights on. Walking around the supermarket, headlights on. Laying in front of a heater, headlights on.
And of course, she's got to put a whole bunch of her things. She's an Australian influencer. So she's going through all the stuff.
Has anyone else had this problem because of the double vaccination, or am I the only person that's just stuck with their high beams on all the fucking time?
Now, it'd be different if she was like this hideous, disgusting old lady, my headlights are on all the time. People would go, you're gross. I don't want to see that. But she's, of course, taken advantage of this to the full effect to get all the clicks and likes and to get her stuff. So that's Whippa Snip over there saying that because of the Pfizer vaccine, well, maybe that's a good thing. Pfizer vaccine, her nipples are on at all time. She could always get into the diamond cutting business. Did I say that right? Diamond cutting business? She could be a burglar cutting glass. I mean, there's so many jokes there. Now, a lot of people don't believe in the vaccination, and we try not to get a little too preachy here. I've taken the show in a different direction, just to talk a little bit more about the mainstream stuff and give my spin on everything that's going on around us. Now, the way they get their vaccines, of course, their proteins from this and animal plant-based this, and then of course man-made chemicals and all that to make you not get sick with not necessarily the COVID vaccination, but just anything in general. But right now, scientists are trying not to annoy the king baboon spider. It's a Transylvania native. It's native to Tanzania and Kenya. The excruciating bite can cause days of pain, swelling, and muscle spasms in human. With that in mind, it seems ironic enough that a new study suggests that the spider could one day inspire new kinds of painkillers. So I started watching that Dope Sick with Michael Keaton. God, that first episode, I was so stressed out at that first episode. I don't know what it was. It was so much. It was just so full. Like the whole entire episode was just, I couldn't watch it. I'm going to try it again. But if you've watched that, let me know how it is. So they're using this new spider, the king baboon spider. The spider bites are practically synonymous with pain. And all the hallmarks of spider bites is the sensation of pain. So the first question is, does it hurt or not? Because it's the criteria is what they're saying. How do spider bites help scientists understand how pain works? Now, the tarantula venom seems fine-tuned by nature to defend itself against predators and incapacitate prey, like anti-venom for snakes and so on and so forth. There's a weight loss drug out there that was actually inspired by lizard venom. So they're slowly working in and trying to figure out if they can use this spider bite or the baboon spider, which is a tarantula-based product or tarantula-based animal. It's an animal? No. 8-legged. Oh, someone's going to get me on that. I know. Arachnid. That's what it is. Thank you. Thank you. People on the texting service there. On the YouTube channel. Now, speaking of YouTube channels, iHeart, Spotify, and all them, Joe Rogan's catching a lot of shit, and people are jumping out off that ship left and right. We had, last week, Neil Young, relevant guy. He jumped ship. The next one just recently is Joni Mitchell. Now, if you're not familiar with Joni Mitchell, she is a long, outstanding folk artist along the same times as Neil Young. And she's pulling all her stuff off of Spotify as well. Again, it's these older people, this older generation, and they're mad because Joe Rogan, did I say Seth Rogen? Joe Rogan is supposedly, quote unquote, giving out false information. Now, I had a discussion with a gentleman the other day, and I said, he said to me, he goes, well, he's giving out false information. I said, because you're on that side of the fence, hearing the conversation. I said, but I'm on this side of the fence listening to your conversation, and I'm thinking your conversation is false. Once again, it's free speech. I can say I believe in the coronavirus or I don't believe in the coronavirus. I can say that there is a God and there's not a God. I'm in the middle of watching a series right now called Afterlife, and Ricky Gervais says something to the effect that since the existence of mankind, there's been 3,000 gods. But your God, the one that you believe in, is the only one, not the other 2,999. They're not existing. So, I mean, what do you believe and what don't you believe? Another thing I said to him, this gentleman who I was having this quote unquote discussion with, I said, isn't a vaccine supposed to eliminate a problem as to, let's say, like a flu shot? It's not a flu vaccination. It's a flu shot. I don't know. I could be wrong on that. Oh, God. Oh my God. I think 7 Mary 3 just left the iHeartRadio thing because I said something stupid like that. So all these different artists are dropping off the face of the earth, actually dropping off Spotify. They're going to turn around and sell all their stuff to, I think it's BMI, KMM, something like that. Let's see, who else has jumped ship? Niles Lofgren, you know him. He was in addition with his work with Crazy Horse, Lofgren had a successful solo career creating popular tunes like You Lit a Fire and the title track to his 1976 album Cry Tough. He's also known as a member of the Bruce Springsteen's E Street Band, having been brought into guitarist and vocalist to replace Stevie Van Zandt when he left to pursue a solo career. All right, and Graham Nash is pulling all his stuff. Now, he's the Nash from the Crosby, Stills, and Nash band. I guess he's hanging out with Neil Young. I guess they're getting along fine. And India Arie, am I saying that right? Arie, R&B artist, was the first major artist outside the rock genre to pull her tunes from the platform. The star is on Instagram. The star said on Instagram that she also takes issue with Rogan and other content beyond his coronavirus coverage, pointing at the comedian's language about race. I don't know. I've never listened to his podcast. Is that any good? I don't know. Ari 46 is also known for hits I'm Not My Hair and The Heart of the Matter and the video along the same line. Let's see. So that's who's jumped ship so far, and I'm sure there's a couple other bands. I saw that I'm gonna mess this up. Sexual Chocolate pulled all their music from Spotify as well. All right, guys, when we come back, someone else is in some hot water and has come back and apologized. And I don't know. Well, she's come back and apologized, and we'll dive into her situation too. Everyone's getting into hot water here. Stick around. You're listening to Deacon Live right here on Prophet Radio. I'll be right back. Welcome back to Deacon Live. You want to be heard? Of course you want to be heard. And the way you do that is go over to Prophet Radio, Prophet Radio. Click on the little blue bar right there on the landing page there. And you can opens up a microphone and you can leave us a voice message. Comes right to our inbox here. And we'll play it on this podcast if watching us on the live stream on Twitch, on YouTube, or on Facebook. Or you can leave it to us and we'll play it on the very next podcast. Even some of these podcasts we've had since 2017 in full form. So you can ask us any questions about some older podcasts, what happened to him, what's going on there, any questions about any of the podcasts that we've had in the past, and we'll play it or answer the question on the very next podcast as well. And don't forget to like us on your social contacts as well. Now, my wife and I she got into, how do I put this? She saw a commercial for oat milk, and I described, the oat milk and everything past couple podcasts ago. And so when I went grocery shopping the other day, I said, well, let me go get another thing of oat milk. And when we bought it the first time, it was a gallon jug, and it was at Costco, and I think it was like maybe $5 and something cents, and it lasts for like 3 months. So we ran out. Of course, I'm not running all the way to Costco. We live out in the middle of nowhere. Actually, we broadcast just outside of Charlotte in a beautiful little town called Marshville. We're about 40 miles from Costco. I'm not driving all that way for a gallon of oat milk. So I went to the local Walmart, and you've heard my trials and tribulations with the local Walmart that I have up here. It seems like I have a problem with every place that I go into. I don't know. Maybe it's just me. I'm a Florida boy, born and raised, and, these backwoods people are... I know, there goes my ratings. I'm going to get thrown off whatever platform you're listening to me on. But all the people out here, it's a little different pace of people compared to where I'm from. So my patience is not thin, but is very, very stretchable and pliable. And I try to apply it around some people's necks sometimes. So I went to the local Walmart and was trying to get oat milk, and they didn't have oat milk. I was like, oh, the only thing they got is like a half gallon of oat milk. And I was like, oh... And they got 15 different flavors. I'm like, fuck it. I'm just getting a gallon of milk for $3 rather than the half gallon of milk for, at Walmart. It's going to be like $6 something. Well, this lady was in was in Costco, and she freaked out. A Walmart shopper, and this is all on TikTok. I'll show you the video here in just one sec. A Walmart shopper allegedly set fire. This was in Walmart, not Costco. Allegedly sets fire to the Bounty paper towels after being mad that there were no almond milk in this whole viral video on TikTok, and it was all captured on TikTok. The 11-second video also shows an employee using a fire extinguisher to put out the paper towels, and the fire seems to extinguish itself by the end of the video. The video has over 8.5 million views and is the latest evidence of items at Walmart has been set ablaze since this whole pandemic and everything running out of everything. Shells of piñatas were set burning on a viral video posted on January 22nd. A man was arrested for arson after setting fire to a household product in North Carolina. Hey, that's probably mine right here. And so on and so forth. So you want to see this video? Let me switch screens here so we can all see it and we can all be friends. Here we go. This is the video of someone got mad because Walmart ran out of almond milk. And it's the big... you've seen the paper towels, the big Bounty paper towels. There's like 12-pack rolls. They've got some on the bottom shelf, some on the middle shelf, some on the top shelf. So here we go. Make sure we got the volume up. I don't know if there's any. Like this. There we go. He can't take care of you like this. So the whole thing is a blaze, and I say that's a good blaze. If you're watching it, I mean, it's what I would call a rocket ship engine. This fire that's blaze on the shelf. And then it's out. So this must have been going on for a while before someone could get over there, and there they go to go knock it out. And she set fire to the towels because they didn't have any oat milk. I mean, why are you drinking oat milk? Because I'm trying to save the environment. I'm trying to save the cows. I'm trying to save the planet and stuff. I'm drinking oat milk because it comes from oats and we can reproduce oats and make milk and stuff. You don't have oat milk? I'm setting fire to these plant-based tree paper towels. That's what I'm doing. I'm going to melt this plastic. I'm going to, there goes the ozone layer. So your whole valid point is mute. You set all this stuff on fire and then, you're kind of counterbalancing what you're trying to do. Now, someone who's trying to counterbalance what she has done this past week is Whoopi Goldberg. Now, I don't watch The View. Try not to watch The View. It just makes my skin crawl, some of the stuff they say. Now, I know they've got a wide panel of people with various beliefs and backgrounds and everything. But sometimes you're just like going, God, what are you saying? And unfortunately, Whoopi Goldberg fell into that same trap when they were talking about the books that were being banned here lately going into the new school year. To Kill a Mockingbird, a book called Beloved, a new book that's come out talking about the Holocaust called Maus, M-A-U-S, talking about the concentration camps and the Holocaust that was going on through World War II. So they get on this whole debate, and I'll play the clip that got her in trouble. And you tell me how you feel about this. So here we go. This is Joan Behart, and I don't know who the other girls are. Sorry, I'm not up on The View. I know Whoopi and Joe Behart. Now, Joe Behart is a Jewish woman, so she can understand and relate to this book. So listen to what happens as they discuss this book about what's going on and what's the actual intention of the book. So here we go. Make sure I'm on the right screen.
To Kill a Mockingbird.
Oh, here we go.
Colleges, this all started in colleges and universities and not wanting to make kids uncomfortable. And we talked about it once here on the show with actually Van Jones when he said, if I send my kids to school, I want them to be uncomfortable. I want people to push back on their beliefs because otherwise we're not preparing kids to go out into the real world. We're preparing them for a world that doesn't exist outside of their own house.
Well, also, if you're going to do this, then let's be truthful about it, because the Holocaust isn't about race. No, it's not about race.
It's about a different race.
But it's
You could hear the gasp in the audience when, I mean, you could take the air out of the room when she said this. I'll play it back one more time. You can listen to it. Ready?
going to do this, then let's be truthful about it, because the Holocaust isn't about race. No.
Oh.
It's not about race.
Ethnicity. Well, they
No,
consider
it's
Jews
about
a different race.
But it's not about race. It's not about race.
What is it about?
Because it's about man's inhumanity to man.
Okay, so that's one topic. I understand that. Now she's trying to backpedal a little bit, but Joan Behart kind of like her ears perked up. She's pulling her coattails down. She's like, "Okay, Whoopi, then tell me what it's about."
That's what it's about.
But it's about white supremacy. It's
Well,
about
but
going
it's
after
not- it's
Jews
not about
and
ideal race.
gypsies
It's,
and
but these are two
Romans.
white groups of people.
Well, they
How do
go
we
after black
They
people
didn't see
too.
them as white.
And they
But
went
you're
after
missing the
homosexuals.
point. You're
Yeah.
missing the point.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
Joan Behart's, okay, Whoopi, you tell me. You know, my people have been prosecuted or all the things that the Jewish community, dating way before the Bible was even around. You tell me, Whoopi.
The minute you turn it into race, it goes down this alley. Let's talk about it for what it is. It's how people treat each other.
Well, that's true.
It's a problem. It doesn't matter if you're black or white, because black, white, Jews, everybody eats each other. So is it, if you're uncomfortable, if you hear about mouse, should you be worried? Should your child say, "Oh my God, I wonder if that's me"?
You can hear the producer. All right, roll the music. Let's get out of this quick.
No, that's not what they're going to say. They're going to say, "I don't want to be like that."
Well, hopefully.
I want to be cool.
Yeah,
And
yeah. Most kids.
So that's what Whoopi said. So I don't know if you're familiar with a good friend of mine. His name is Michael Rappaport. This was his retort on that, talking about Whoopi and what what she actually said. So here's Michael Rappaport.
Whoopi Goldberg, love you, big fan. I know you. You went on your show, The View, today and said that the Holocaust wasn't about race. Yes, it fucking was all and only about race. It was about kill the Jews, exterminate the Jews. They're not white, they're Jewish. That's like saying slavery wasn't about race. You need to apologize. You need to explain yourself. Not good, not cool. And especially a day when in Orlando, these fake fucking wannabe budget, good for nothing scumbags are down there playing dress up, cosplaying like they're Nazis.
Down in Orlando.
Leave the fucking Jews alone. Everybody just leave the fucking Jews alone.
Yeah, Michael, you tell them. Leave the Jews alone. and all can be said across the board for all of that as well. So with that being said, Whoopi Goldberg has been suspended on The View over hurtful Holocaust comments that she has made. The daytime panel show co-host is off the program, will be suspended for 2 weeks, making controversial comments on Mondays about Jewish people and the Holocaust, and to respond to local school board meetings banning graphic novel Mouse. So there you go. She's suspended 2 weeks. Is that enough? Is that too much? You tell me. And the way you do that is go over to profitradio.com, click on Be Heard, and let me know how you think or how you feel about that whole suspension and everything. All right, when we come back, this kid actually snuck his book into the library, and now there is a 2-year waiting list for someone to read this book. Stick around. You'll to a 9-year-old kid wrote it. 9-year-old kid wrote this book, snuck it in the library, and now everyone wants to read it. Stick around. You're listening to Deacon Live right here on Prophet Radio. I'll be right back. Welcome back to Deacon Live. Don't forget, some of the artists that you hear, the musical artists that we have here on the station, are very local. They're very, I take that back. They're not local. Let me start that over, because that's not true. Welcome back to Deacon Live. Make sure you show your support to all the local artists. It's not local. Welcome back to Deacon Live. Make sure you show your support for all the musical artists that we have here on the show. Most of them are independent. Most of them are unsigned, and they're doing this out of the love for the game. And a lot of them are very, very, very talented, and the production value on them is good, is very good as well. I don't know what I'm saying. Start all that again. Welcome back to Deacon Live. Make sure you show your support to all the independent artists that are played here on Deacon Live, and for full-length songs and stuff, make sure you go over to profitradio.com, click on their little page there for more information on each one of those as well. Now, AS for TikTok. You guys big fans of TikTok? There's a whole bunch of stuff. There's a whole new language out there. You've got Stitch, you've got Slide, you got Bump, you got Cell, you got Duets, you got all the stuff with TikTok. Now, another thing that's popping up in the TikTok dialogue is something called AS. Now, the AS for TikTok is a contribute. it's contributed to Adult Swim. Now, back in the day, I think Adult Swim is still around. No, I think they disbanded in 2017. Adult Swim basically is the adult content for cartoons. So cartoons that had a little bit more risque topics. Some of them had language, maybe a little nudity, a little butt show in there, something that, you know, kids under the age of 15 aren't supposed to see in front of their parents. Beavis and Butthead would be a prime example. They would be on Adult Swim. Family Guy, for the most part, they were in the beginning before they got canceled 3 times and brought back. Rick and Morty is a prime example of the cartoons that you would find on the Adult Swim. And one of the things that Adult Swim was doing for a long time was called these things called bumpers, or are they called bumpers or boopers? What are they called? Bumps. And the hashtag AS is bringing that back around. And if you don't know what the little bumpers are on the Adult Swim, it's these little, like, one word or one sentence phrase, and then it shows a little clip of something and then goes right back into, it's a small little commercial that's played in between the commercial breaks. And if you want to see this one, I got a couple examples of them right here for you. And you go over to profitradio.com, click on Deacon Live, and for every podcast we do, once this broadcast is done, you can see this video as well. We are also streaming live on Twitch and YouTube and Facebook as well. Make sure you like us over there. So here you go. Here's just a little thing right here. It says, hold on. They will focus on mirrors on light of a town of shit. Hold on, let me go back here to the very beginning. So it says Adult Swim, a video call is coming in. And it's a little dachshund in front of the screen. And then call is ended. Just something as simple as that. Very simple, but that's a new trend going on TikTok right now. So if you see hashtag AS and you see these weird videos, that's what they're referring to, is these little bumpers that Adult Swim used to do, and they're kind of bringing that back as well. Now, this gentleman right here is doing a clapback on Doritos. This is all TikTok. This is the newest trend. I say the newest trend. TikTok is the world. The world right now. And a lot of times you can clap back to someone on TikTok if you think they're wrong on doing something. So a Frito-Lay worker shuts down a TikToker who claimed that he exposed how Doritos were made. Now, before we show how Doritos are actually made, we'll watch the video here of what the guy said, how Doritos were made in the first place. Now, granted, you know, to make Doritos, there's a whole long chain. You know, you have to do this. There's 15 different steps to get to the finished product. So this guy was probably in the shitty part of the job and was showing this. And what you're seeing here on the video, it's a big vat with almost like this peanut butter looking paste. And it's
what Doritos really look like before it's pressed and baked into a Dorito.
So it's this hot peanut buttery looking thing, jiggly, and it's just in a big vat, and he's moving it around and shaking it.
Really look like before it's pressed and baked into a Dorito.
So he's smacking it, and it's not really, you know, taking shape. It's just like this big old peanut butter blob for the most part in this big old container, which you would think it's got to start somewhere, right? Well, this gentleman right here actually created a video, a follow-up video, showing what actually happens and explains actually what happens for...
Okay, story time. Here we go.
I'm gonna listen to this.
Time about. Okay, story time. Here we go. Time about some. You got exposed. Man, look. I'ma say this just like this. Cause I ain't trying to get banned. I ain't trying to get reported. Y'all already be the police on here. I do not work there no more already.
Okay, so we'll find out what's going on there here in just one sec. So this is the video. The guy actually, there's a follow-up video on that, and I don't want to see that. Let's go here. I know, bear with me.
What Doritos really look like before it's pressed.
All right, so that's the original video.
Fun fact.
So this guy right here, he's like, here, fun fact, I actually work for Frito-Lay, and he's going to show you how it's actually made. Now he's got to go through all these different doors, so you're going to hear a whole lot of key entries, and then he's going to sit down at his desk and show you what's going on. He looks like more of a operator supervisor in this area.
I work for Frito-Lay, so let's go.
Key entrance, door 1. Key entrance, door 2. Key fob 3.
So I'm going to talk quick.
Here we go.
Pretty much, I couldn't show you anything other than opening doors and stuff because kind of a big secret inside there. Anyways, so what we have here is actually some Mazda, which, you know, it's kind of like Play-Doh, really, but it gets crushed in 2 rollers and then just kind of cut into the shape that you guys usually know.
Looks like
then
wet cookie dough.
Baked and then fried and all kinds of stuff to make the regular Dorito. Whatever that was, just ain't true.
What Dorito?
All right, so that was what he said as far as what the actual video was. And let's follow up with the guy who actually made the video and see what happens, what he's saying. Hold on. So let's see what he's saying.
Hey, story time. Here we go. Time about some you got exposed. Man, look, I'ma say this just like this. Cause I ain't trying to get banned. I ain't trying to get reported. Y'all already be the police on here. I do not work there no more already. So y'all can look up anything, whatever. You could type it up to your blue in the face. You could talk about it to your green in the ears. I don't care. Nobody can tell me about what went down in that warehouse and what was made and what was being sent unless you worked with me. And if you worked with me, you're not going to be on here commenting and saying woo, 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 because people scared to lose their job. But you see me, I didn't care. I don't care about these jobs. I don't care about these corporate companies. Y'all be so hurt. Oh, Doritos, so mad.
See, that's the problem. You know, there's no loyalty to your brand.
That's y'all. You feel me? If y'all want to eat Doritos, y'all could do what y'all want to do. I ain't saying don't eat them. Bro. I just want to let people know what they putting in their body. Y'all finna climb down my throat over some Doritos.
I'm out of here. I'm going to go light up this blunt and hang out with my friends. Right? Give me a break. Come on, man. We know that there's a lot of stuff that goes on when making products, and sometimes, do you ever seen how chicken McNuggets are made? It's a pink slurry. It's a pink slurry. If you saw that in the beginning, I wouldn't eat them, but when you see them in the end, you're like going, hell yeah, I want some goddamn chicken McNuggies. They look delicious. They look delectable. Now, this right here, listen to this story. This kid becomes a national sensation after writing a comic and sneaking it into the library. Christmas, C-R-I-S-M-I-S, came early for this pint-sized comic book subscriber. Many kids fantasize about being a famous comic book author, even at a young age. However, an Idaho second grader actually achieved this dream after he snuck his homemade graphic novel into the local library, and it got published. Now, the 81-page story is flying off the shelves and has been even inspired other young novelists to follow suit. This is him saying, I wanted to put my book in the library center since I was about 5 years old. The Boise native Dylan Helbig, there he is, 8 years old. The inspiring scribe has reportedly spent 4 days writing and illustrating his magnum opus, The Adventures of Dylan Helbig's Christmas, which tells a fictional tale on how Dylan travels back in time after the star atop his tree explodes in the story. And you can see it literally looks like a kid wrote it. You know, the house on the hill and crayons and things are misspelled on the cover. I wanted to read it, said an amateur artist and author who reportedly been churning out comic book style work since he was about 5 years old. I wanted people to read it, he said. However, Dylan did not have the book deal lined up with a miniature. Oh, God, please. So during the top secret op, the tyke reportedly forced and sneaked past the librarians and put it back on the shelf while slipping the comic amongst the other titles. However, when Dylan went back to check on his story, he discovered that the masterpiece was already gone. After hearing the heartbreaking news, the mother, Susan, dialed the library to see what was amiss. After she found out the little boy stuck the thing on the shelf. Dylan's book definitely fit all criteria, insists the branch manager Alex Hartman, who, with Dylan's permission, processed the book and made it accessible to anyone with a library card. So we are proud of him. Let me see. So Dylan went back to check on his book on the shelf a while later and discovered that the masterpiece was gone. After hearing the heartbreaking news, Mother Susan dialed the library to see if what happened to his book. They instead informed her that they were so charmed by the work that he decided to add it to their official catalog. So anyone with a library card could now check out this book. Now, with that being said, there is a 2-year waiting list for anyone to go in there with a library card to check out this book. Now, whether it's being published or not, they haven't decided that yet. But here, this little kid wrote a little comic book, 81 pages long. My comic book would be 5 pages long, and that's with pictures. This kid right here wrote a comic book, 80 pages long. Is that a novel? That'd be a graphic novel, wouldn't it? Slipped it on the back shelf of the library, and everyone's wanting to watch or read it now. All right, guys, when we come back, do you know what a grandfluencer is? We're just smashing words together and making them up. Stick around. I'll get into that as well. And also the great Golden Corral Steakout. Stick around. You're listening to Deacon Live right here on Prophet Radio. I'll be right back. Right?
influencer.
A journalist asked me once, what do you think about age and getting out of your comfort
zone? For seniors.
Do you guys want to take the Proform Pro 9000 home with you?
Really?
Senior influencers can make anywhere between.
Look at how cool I am.
Is slaying it as an influencer.
This morning, a surprise.
Yes, Miss Jones, I recommend if you apply for a job and you expect somebody to call you, that you have a more appropriate response on your voicemail. So thank you for applying, and no need to give us a call back here at Harris Teeter. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am. Bye.
Welcome back to Deacon Live. Excuse me. Welcome back to Deacon Live. You want something for free? Of course you do. Go over to Prophet Radio, Prophet Radio. Click on the free swag section and fill out the little form there, and we'll email you or mail you out. We have sticker packs out there. We have magnet packs, buttons, pins, stickers, all that stuff. Just fill out the little form. I'm not going to do anything with your email address. Believe me, I've got enough shit going on here. I don't need to harass you or anything. I'm not selling your stuff anything. I just want to say thank you for listening to us, sharing us, and doing all the stuff that links us to you and you to us. And I just want to say thank you by giving you some free stuff. Now, this woman right here was applying for a new job, and this TikToker claims that she didn't get hired because of her voicemail greeting. Now, I know there was a time I had a business, and I was also looking for a small part-time job, and my business answering machine, my cell phone would say, welcome to ABC company, and to leave a message, press 1, press, whatever, and such and such and such. And I'd get a call, and they would say, this message is for blah, blah, blah. And they wouldn't know if they had the right number or not. So I had to fix that and change that around. Now, sometimes you just say the number you have reached, blank, 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 is not available. Please leave a message, which is the generic one. But everyone wants to be cool. Well, Zanaya Jones wanted to be cool as well by putting her own spin on her own voicemail answering thing. And it says, let's see. What's this say?
What's up? What's up? What's up?
All right, so this is her actual voicemail when you call Zanaya Jones. This is what you get if she doesn't answer her phone.
Yes, Miss Jones, I reckon.
Nope, not that one. This is what you get when you get her phone. Oops, up.
What's up, y'all? It's your girl Nia, and I'm back with another banging banger. I'm sorry I couldn't answer the phone. Please leave your name, number. Yeah, you know I like Gail. What happened? Gail.
I'm going to play that again because I couldn't hear it. Here we go.
What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up, y'all? It's your girl Nia, and I'm back with another banging banger. I'm sorry I couldn't answer the phone. Please leave your name, number. Yeah, you know I like Gail. What happened? Gail.
So that's when you dial her phone number, that's what you get. And so I guess she was applying for Harris Teeter, and Harris Teeter, this is the message that they left her. And she's saying that the voicemail message that she left on there was the reason why she didn't get the job. Listen to what they say.
Yes, Miss Jones, I recommend if you apply for a job and you expect somebody to call you, that you have a more appropriate response on your voicemail. So thank you for applying, and no need to give us a call back here at Harris Teeter. Thank you, man. Bye.
So I don't know if she got the job or was going to get the job until the guy heard that message. But, I mean, there's no difference between, all right, it's cool. It was cute. It was a cute message. But what if someone was to go on your Facebook page and see you, double fisting Jaeger bombs, and you're applying for a bank teller or something like that, like the Romanian girl that I ran into. Can they do that? And based on your Facebook thing, they're saying, you know what, you're qualified, you're perfect for the position, but that whole you sliding down the slide with half naked girls or half naked men on your face. Yeah, we don't like that kind of action here. So it still affects job applications as far as, how you portray yourself on social media. So I would agree that the voicemail was a little, it was okay. If it's friends calling friends. But yes, if you're having some kind of professional level of someone calling you back for a job interview, I would just, it takes 2 seconds to click it to generic voicemail. The number you have reached, 1-2-3-4-5-6-7-8-9 is unavailable. Please leave a message. And then you can just click it right back. It's a very simple thing. I don't know if she wanted the job or didn't want the job or not. So obviously not a whole lot of thought process was put into that as well. Now, this company right here has thought a lot about jobs and how to eliminate some of them. What they're doing right now, Domino's Pizza. You ever heard of that dump store? That garbage pizza that's over there? Oh, no. I've lost another 15,000 listeners off of Stitcher or something stupid like that. Domino's will now tip customers $3. All right, now let's backtrack a little bit. First of all, they've changed the name from Domino's Pizza to just Domino's. Then the CEO said, look, came on the air or came on TV, made a commercial, goes, look, our pizzas suck. The bread sucks, our fillings suck, our toppings suck. We're going to fix that. And then the next thing was, if you do this, contactless this and all this stuff, and then snowball of all these different things. They're throwing shit at the wall and it's not sticking. Here's something else that's not going to stick. Domino's will tip customers $3 if they order pickup, as to the chain tries to convince customers to skip delivery. Domino's will give customers who pick up online orders $3 coupons as a tip toward their next purchase. See how they get you? They got to get you coming back, like an honors card. That's what they should do. Just have an honors card or a frequent flyer card or something where you punch all the things and then you get a free pizza. Maybe 2 pizzas. Let's ante it up a little bit. Domino's CEO noted the lack of delivery drivers on October 2021. working for the actual store. Pizza chains were early winners in this pandemic, but sales have dipped. Domino's is offering a $3 discount to the customers who pick up their own orders as the latest sign to impact the lack of delivery drivers is having on the chain. So is $3 enough for you to go pick it up? Now with today's gas prices, if you're, let's see. Normally the delivery range of a pizza delivery place is what, 5 miles, maybe 5 miles. They give you $3. You're going to have to do something a little bit more than that. I think the frequent flyer thing might work. Or frequent purchase or whatever, frequent customer. My opinion, the name Domino's is synonymous with shitty pizza. I'm sorry. I'm going to go say it. I'm going to say it. Hungry Howie's, it's right in the name. I'm hungry. And if my name was Howie, that's me. Little Caesar's Pizza. Pizza. It's so good they named it twice. Godfather's Pizza, you can't find those guys anymore. Some people live and die and swear by them. Pizza Hut, of course, it's in the name. Papa John's, they went through a whole lot of things. They've rebranded themselves and they're doing well. But I mean, Domino's, you've got to do something. Get rid of the blue and red. Like it's a friggin', I don't know, like it looks like what does it look like? Blue and red. Nothing about Domino's itself says pizza other than the word Domino's reminds me of just shitty pizza. Change your colors, change the logo, change the name. Dunkin' Donuts is trying to do that right now. It's always going to be Dunkin' Donuts, but now, let's go to Dunkin'. Let's go to Double D's or whatever they're changing it to. Domino's has really got to rebrand. It's not the pizza. If you create a good front, a good outline, a good staple for the front of the store, maybe the pizza won't taste as bad. It won't I won't feel as bad. Now, something that tastes really good, that's been off the menu for a long time, is the Mexican pizza over at Taco Bell. I've never had the Mexican pizza over at Taco Bell. A lot of people swear by it. They've been, the hashtag bring back Mexican pizza Taco Bell has been trending for a long time. Well, guess what? There's one person in this world right now that could probably bring the Mexican pizza back just by snapping her fingers. And that person right now, I believe, is Dolly Parton. And when I say that, she actually stood behind the Mexican pizza when they took it off the menu. Let's see. Hold on. The country music star is a living embodiment of the word icon. And praises fast food, specifically Taco Bell, where she likes to order a soft shell supreme taco, rice and beans, and a mild sauce. And once upon a time, she ordered the Mexican pizzas. And when asked if she thought that Taco Bell should bring it back, she immediately applied, I think they should. You hear that, Taco Bell? Dolly Parton says, the Southern Belle of country music says that she wants the Mexican pizza to come back and you should bring it back. So Taco Bell, pick that up. Now, something that they're actually calling what Dolly Parton is doing. Now, unfortunately, we lost Betty White at the beginning of this year. And she was the icon. She was the essential woman through times, woman through decades. I believe Dolly Parton is going to take Betty White's place as far as fulfilling that role. And that role is what they're calling now grandfluencers. Now, when I say grandfluencers, of course, we're just smashing words together now. This is older people and influencers promoting stuff on like social media platforms. So here we go. Here's a small little article about what actually a grandfluencer is. And for every podcast we do, we have a matching video, and you can see this in real time as we're talking about it here on the air. So here we go.
New group of social media stars might move there. Good tax benefits. Seniors are becoming powerful content creators and influencers, and affectionately, as a group, they're being called grandfluencers. Jamie Yukis met several of these tech-savvy super-agers who are spreading positivity, smashing stereotypes, and making money as social media sensations.
Fashion may come and go, but style is forever. And 68-year-old Lynn Slater is slaying it as an influencer.
A journalist asked me once, what do you think about age and getting older? I said, just look at my photos. I'm performing it.
Wow, you can really dance.
Their moves might be a little slower, but the old gays, yes, that's their handle, are conquering TikTok with more than 5.5 million followers.
Nothing wrong with me.
And Lonnie Pike is keeping it real. She goes by gray hair and tattoos. They're all part of a growing group of seniors inspiring and enlightening their much younger fans.
That was the reason why I did become popular and I did become successful, because I was conveying this attitude. Look at how cool I am, and I have gray hair and wrinkles, and I'm not going to let anybody make me be invisible.
Slater's known as the accidental icon. Now, this former social justice professor is using fashion to fight stereotypes about aging.
It involves getting out of your comfort zone. For me, if I don't keep growing, that's when I'm going to wither up.
People are really craving authenticity. So people of all ages are really looking for real people that they can connect with online.
Marketing strategist Rahel Marzi-Hazen has helped companies connect with grandfluencers, presenting growth opportunities for both the seniors and established brands looking to expand their market.
For younger people, they're really inspired when they see older influencers living their lives, dating, traveling, dancing. The time is ripe for senior influencers who have largely been overlooked.
And the new partnerships can mean an economic boon for seniors.
Do you guys want to take the Proform Pro 9000 home with you?
Senior influencers can make anywhere between $50 to tens of thousands of dollars for just one social media post.
I probably worked about 8
That'll help
hours,
pay for the medication and stuff.
I made my yearly salary as a professor.
I am safe. I am free.
Lonnie Pike's confidence and positivity have earned her close to 1 million followers on TikTok.
I am 57 years old and I still get told that I'm going to regret my tattoos. I mean, come on.
What's the most inspiring thing you've heard from a 20 or 30-year-old?
I have a lot of young moms reaching out to me. They're like, I no longer fear growing old. You don't have to fear age. I'm the same person at 57 I was at 25. I just have more tattoos and I drive a better car.
So there you go. Grandfluencers are out there. So all you people over the age, I'm going to say 50, and not me, not yet. If you got a niche, you want to be a grandfluencer, start taking some pictures of yourself and get yourself out there. When you start living, you start dying, I guess is the old saying that they go. All right, guys, when we come back, you ready for the Super Bowl? Well, you're not yet unless you get a keg of cheese. And I know my wife won't let me have this. We always argue about that as well. And we're also going to talk about, you ever heard of bunnies? Well, this young lady, unfortunately, this young girl had a whole herd of bunnies chasing her down. And we'll get into that here in just one sec. You're listening to Deacon Live right here on Prophet Radio. I'll be right back. Welcome back to DeaconLive. Make sure you follow us on all your social networks. And the way you do that is to go over to Prophet Radio, Prophet Radio. Click on social contacts. You can find all the links that links us to you, you to us, Instagram, Twitter. Does anyone do Twitter anymore? LinkedIn, I'm over there as well. There's like 15 different things. Twitch, YouTube, Facebook as well. And we do a live stream every Wednesday. Make sure you like and subscribe and do all that stuff. And you can see us live here in the studio. And for every podcast we have a matching video once we're done with production here. You can find that video as well over at the DeaconLive section of Prophet Radio. Now, the Super Bowl's right around the corner, and unfortunately, some teams did not make it. And one team that did not make it is the Denver Broncos. Well, you're like going, well, then maybe next year. Well, guess what? Now's your chance to make them, maybe you can change their thing for next year. And when I say that is, hold on, let's pause this. I got too much shit flying around in here. Maybe you can help them change that for next year. And the way you do that is to buy them. That's right. The Denver Broncos are officially up for sale. The Pat Bowlen Trust has begun the sale of the team announced this past Tuesday. Selling the NFL team is a complex process involving numerous parties and the league's official procedures. Nonetheless, the trustees have hoped that the sale will be completed by the start of the 2022 NFL season. The Broncos are a special franchise that is part of the fabric of this region, says the CEO, Joe Ellis, who has emerged the new owner. Whoever emerges as the new owner will certainly understand what the team means to the great fan of this, or all the great fans in this community. The Broncos became the first NFL franchise to go up for sale since the former Carolina Panthers, Jerry Richardson, began the process in December 2017, later selling the organization to David Tepper for the league record of $2.275 billion. That mark could easily be shattered with the payout of the Broncos. So if you want to buy the Broncos, you can buy them. I think starting bid, let's start at $50 and we'll go from there. Since 2015, no other NFL franchise has been sold in this way. Former owner Pat Bowlen died in 2019 after a lengthy battle with Alzheimer's. The court ruling on January determined that the rights of the first refusal agreement between Bowlen and Edgar Kaiser is no longer valid and enforceable in any aspect. So that way it clears the way for a sale. So if you want to try to buy them, Denver Broncos, maybe if we do a whole GoFundMe and buy the Broncos, maybe me and you and maybe a couple of our friends could buy them and do something. What am I going to do with a football team? I just run them into the ground. I wouldn't know what to do with them. All right, you go left, you go right. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm just sitting here writing. Seems like I'm writing checks to everyone, and there are really, really too many zeros on this. Not enough room on the bottom here in the memo to write what I'm doing here. Now, with every Super Bowl party, there's all the food, all the different things. They run a big special on all the food networks of what's the latest crave that everyone has. What's your Super Bowl meal? What's your Super Bowl party favors are going to be? And so on, and how to make all these things. Believe me, as we get closer to the Super Bowl, you're going to see your whole entire TikTok feed, how to make the super queso, how to make the super chips, how to make this, how to make that for your Super Bowl party. Well, Hormel is no stranger to the Super Bowl. The Hormel keg can pump up to 300 servings of malted chili cheese, and it can all be yours with a miracle of modern technology. Now get ready. Get your pens out there, little boys and girls. The sweepstake is so heartbreaking. You give a giant corporation your precious personal information to get a remote chance to win something that you really, really want. Some random dude named Bob ends up winning in your town and you've never heard of, from a town that you've never heard of. Excuse me. And the company ends up with your info for marketing purposes, which is sad. I mean, that's the way it is. But Hormel is giving away a huge keg designed to pump out warm chili cheese. And because this thing looks amazing, and there could only be one winner, and you'll be able to call it your very own. You can see the Hormel device on the Hormel website sweepstakes. So here you go, right here. Oh, Jesus Christ. Change screens here so you can see it. Tap into greatness, and it looks like a beer keg, and it's got the Hormel chili as the tap. Looks like you pump the center just like a regular keg. Enter now. Oh, look at all the guys pumping the keg like you would pump a normal keg. And it's chili cheese. Cheese. It's not just cheese. It's not just chili. It's a mixture of the two. Let's see. Enter now. First name, last name, street address, all this stuff. I'll put this up on the Prophet Radio website. And you guys can, let me write this down so I can post. Let's see. Post on web. And you can see this. Go over to prophetradio.com, and I'll put the link up there on the landing page there, and you can see that. Get your own Hormel chili. Now, here's the thing. If you win and you got it through us, all I want is a gallon. That's all I want. I just want a gallon. 10% of whatever's in that keg. Everything has to be filled out before. Let's see. I don't know what the deadline is, but you can see all this information. Go over to prophetradio.com. I'll post it on the website as well. Now, the great Golden Corral. My wife likes the breakfast over at Golden Corral. I've eaten there twice. Once in college, in between classes, and I never made it to my afternoon classes because everything on the Golden Corral menu and stuff was fried on the buffet. My wife and I went there one time for breakfast. We brought my father-in-law, her dad, and we had breakfast there one time, and I was just like, ugh, how do people, no wonder we're so fucking fat. How do people eat this stuff all the time? Well, in Golden Corral, a brawl reportedly sparked by a misunderstanding over steak. So let's go to this article right now. And for a podcast we have matching video as well, so you can see this in real time as we're talking about it here on the podcast.
Authorities continue to investigate an all-out brawl in Bensalem, Bucks County.
What the others were saying.
Oops. Sorry.
They call themselves America's #1 buffet, the Golden Corral. But Friday night, it seemed like America's #1 free-for-all. More than 36 people were throwing fists and even throwing some chairs. Action News reporter Walter Perez is live outside the Golden Corral on the 1400 block of Street Road in Bensalem. Walter, what is the latest on all of this?
Well, Jim, we just did a Zoom interview with someone involved in that fight. Now, there's always two sides to a story, sometimes three, but Alexis Rios did give us really good insight into exactly what happened. Action News spoke with one of the people at the center of this melee that erupted inside the Golden Corral in Bensalem this past Friday.
They're throwing chairs. They're throwing everything all over the place.
It started over a misunderstanding regarding a piece of steak. Rios says the person in front of him became angry with the cook because Rios received his steak first.
He's trying to understand what you want. He's trying to give you what you want. I had a rare steak, which is a lot faster to cook than a well-done steak. That's why I got my steak first.
And
first of all, that's where the fight should have started. When the guy asked for a well-done steak, that's when the fight should have started, right then and there.
Rios thinks part of the reason things escalated so quickly is because everyone was wearing masks, and he believes the people involved had a hard time understanding what the others were saying.
With COVID right now, mask and everything, nobody can hear nobody sometimes. There's a lot of commotion there, and the cooks behind there are talking. Nobody can hear nobody. You have to speak up loud.
Next thing you know, he says, that misunderstanding erupted into an all-out brawl.
I grabbed a chair to defend myself, and then sooner or later, that was it. Punches were getting thrown.
What do you mean defend yourself? How about get the fuck out of there? Because you don't know some of those people. I'm just saying, those people in that place could have been packing. You know what I'm saying? Wink, wink, hush, hush. I don't work for Frito-Lay anymore type deal.
Chairs were getting thrown. You name it. You can call it cups, glasses, everything. You name it.
Officials from this Golden Corral franchise released a statement regarding the melee, reading in part, "We notified the local authorities and they are investigating the incident. Thankfully, no serious injuries have been reported. The safety of our guests and our co-workers is our top priority." And Rios admits he is amazed everyone walked away relatively unscathed.
Nobody was on the ground. Nobody got hurt. I got a bruise on my nose. My brother got a black eye. My brother got a lifted nail, and that was it.
A lifted nail? What's a lifted nail? Because he bent his finger back or something.
Black eye. My brother got a lifted nail, and that was it.
Now, the investigation is ongoing. So far, no arrests. Any possible charges linked to this case would include simple assault and disorderly conduct.
So, a misunderstanding over a steak. Hey, where's my steak? Where's your steak? Where's my steak? I don't know. Give me one. Well, you got a mask on. Where's my steak? Where's your steak? God, fuck you. And then everything gets all hot and heavy. Man, thank God. Thank God it wasn't like 2 o'clock in the morning. Thank God Golden Corral is not open at 2 o'clock in the morning when you have all the drunks and stuff coming out. Because that could be, I could see that could be even more catastrophist. All right, guys, one more segment and we'll let you guys get back to what you got to do. Check out this little kid who's got this toy truck that I wish I had as a little kid. And he's doing like a, what do they call, a monster truck thing? Check this out. Stick around. You're listening to Deacon Live. I'll be right back. Oops. Hi. Ready? Welcome back to Deacon Live. Make sure if you want to be heard, we'd love to hear from you. And the way you do that is go over to Prophet Radio, Prophet Radio. Click on the Be Heard section. There's a little blue bar right there. Excuse me. Opens up a microphone. You can speak right into it. We'll play it. We'll leave a message right to our inbox, and we'll play it on the very next podcast. If you have any questions about past podcasts, this podcast, or anything going on in my life, your life, or anything going on here during the Deacon Live podcast, we'd love to hear from you. Just leave us a little message, and comes right to our... I don't know what I'm saying. I have no idea what I'm saying. Try it again, because I can. Welcome back to Deacon Live. You want to be heard on Deacon Live? We'd love to hear from you. And the way you do that is go over to Prophet Radio, Prophet Radio. There's a little blue bar at the very bottom right-hand side of the page. On the landing page, it opens up a microphone. Speak right into your tablet, your smartphone, your PC, your tablet, whatever you have, and leaves a voice message, comes right here to the podcast, and we'll play it on the very next podcast, being that this is sort of... We'll play it on the very next podcast. And if you have any questions or anything for us here, we'd love to answer them for you as well. Now, cooking right now is actually causing more holes in the hole zones. It is actually doing more damage to the planet than we thought. When I say cooking, I'm talking about gas top stoves. And you're like going, well, how can that be? How can gas top stoves cause a problem here on our planet? Let's see how well this works.
Hey, NPR. The Indicator is a little show about big ideas from the people who make Planet Money. For a quick hit of insight into work, the economy, and everything else, click the play button below to listen to a recent episode. Support for NPR comes from USA Facts, analyzing government data.
I don't know what that is. So the University of Stanford has done a study saying that your natural gas cooking stove, doesn't say propane, just says natural gas cooking stove, is leaked to climate warming because of methane gas. And you're like going, well, how the hell does that happen? Even when it's turned off. This is important because methane gas is such a potent greenhouse gas effect that affects our planet than even carbon dioxide. And it doesn't linger in the atmosphere nearly as long. Stanford scientists measured the methane released from cooking gas stoves in only 53 California homes. Give me a break. What's the population of California? You only measured 53? They estimated how much methane is leaked each time you turn the knob in that second right before it lights. So they go, click, 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 click. What, a second and a half? And then it fires up. So that methane gas is leaving your stove and it's going up in your roof and through your attic and through your shingles or rock and gravel roof, whatever you got, and it's going all the way into the atmosphere. And they did that for 53 homes. They also measured how much unburned methane is released during cooking. It's unlikely that the previous studies that they measure how much methane gas, and, leave it to freaking California. Oh, methane gas is cooking. Ignore the fact how they got the natural gas. When they talk about fracking, and they talk about doing all this stuff to our planet where they're blasting water and air and stuff into our soil and breaking up our tectonic plates to get natural gas. But they're worried about our stoves? Is that what's killing us? Is that what's killing us, really, Stanford? Is that what's killing us? The 2.5 seconds that our stove doesn't light? give me a break. Go study something else, you know? Go study those baboon wolf spiders or something, the tarantulas over there. You guys team up together and figure out something. Now, speaking of gas, this gas station of the future will have treadmills, gardens, and solar panels, but no gas whatsoever. Here we go. I know. A competition has asked people to design the service station of the future, with electric vehicles being the dominant source of the new gas stations. The result looks very different than what we have today. And if you look at this picture right here, I guess this is what they've come up with. It looks like, you know what it looks like? Looks like a rest area. Like when you're on the highway and stuff down 95 or I-10, and they got those little side rest areas where you can get snack machines and stuff and plug in your electric car. And there's going to be treadmills and stuff. Have you seen a rest area? They're garbage. They are horrible. Now, they say sometimes they have to have security. Why do you have to have security at this remote location in the middle of the highway? Well, because weird things happen. So this is a gas station that's going to be used for electric cars. The gas stations we know is an endangered species as long as electric vehicles gradually make a larger share of the cars on the road. Entirely new kinds of service stations will be needed to fuel our journeys. A new design competition has come up with a vision for those stations and what they might look like. Parkland, a Canadian-based gas station operator with 3,000 locations in 25 countries, is the main sponsor of this international competition to create an electric fueling station for the future. The winner entry has just been announced, and the design envisions a facility where the time it takes to recharge a battery, easily about a half hour or longer, is seen an opportunity to rest, relax, and maybe explore. So I don't think... Are they going to rest and relax? I'm going to sit in my car for 30 minutes and play on my phone. Give me free Wi-Fi at this place. I don't care about the treadmill. And they're saying that some of these locations are going to be in what they call not really safe areas or remote locations. So again, you're dealing with security. It's going to be those rest areas where you're just like, no. We'll go to the next one. It's not going to be a fun thing to sit there and charge your car. I guarantee you it's going to be almost like the equivalent when it actually comes right down to it. It's going to be the equivalent of, you ever seen those car wash where you pull in, you put your couple quarters in the machine and you pressure wash your car. It's all in like a little cubicle or whatever, two sides, a roof, and there's like 5 or 6 slots or 10 slots depending on how big the thing is. That's what the new charging station is going to be. I don't want to look at anyone. I don't want to see anyone. Maybe there'll be a snack machine. They're going to be these really, really low-tech places outside of the actual environment. Because think about it. You've got a service station that's servicing electric cars. So on top of that, you're going to have electric treadmills. You're going to have all this other electric stuff in the building. It's going to have solar panels. Oh, my God, great. Solar panels that'll last 10 years, and then we can't recycle them, and then something else happens there. No, you're going to have to plug into the main grid. And I'm just being realistic. That's what I am. I'm being realistic as far as what the new gas stations are going to look like, or fuel stations. Now, this guy right here could care less about any electric car out there right now. A dad, hold on. This kid right here says, I'm going to do it, and I'm going to do it my way. My dad used to tell me it wasn't the size of the dog in the fight, but the fight in the dog. And these principles apply to a video showing a Missouri boy, or Missouri, depending on what side of the country you're from, is using his tiny truck to pull his big brother's adult-sized truck. Now, when I say that, this is no Power Wheels, all right? This kid actually looks like he's got a full-size, probably 1/10 scale. Maybe, I don't know how you do the 10th scale, but it's a 10th scale of what a Peterbilt, like a day cab or a sleeper cab would have. And he calls the truck Rooster. and he's pulling his brother's, looks like a Scottsdale, jacked up truck and stuff, and he's pulling his truck with his truck. He's pulling his brother's truck with his truck. So here's this video right here. If you want to see this video, go over to Profit Radio.
All right, well.
Go over to ProfitRadio.com, click on DeaconLive. You can see this video as well. So you can already hear, it's already getting started.
Rooster over here says that his wee Pete can pull the 85 square body. His big brother's pickup. Waiting for him to pull out here. Got the strap all ready to go. We're going to put Mama in the driver's seat to run the brakes just in case things get crazy. You know, like sled pulls, you know, they gotta have safeties. So we'll get him out here and we'll get him hooked up. Here he comes. Oh, watch the bumper. Oh! Go ahead.
That's his little truck. Can you hear it? It's a diesel. It sounds like a little go-kart.
All right, let me get him hooked up. All right, we got it hooked up here. We're gonna go ahead and tighten up the strap while we're waiting on Mom.
Come on, Mom. There he goes. Fires it up.
All right. As soon as she comes out, we'll get this on the road here.
Come on, Mom. We're burning daylight. It sounds pretty tough. That's no Power Wheels. Someone has made this thing for him.
All right. Got Mama in the truck. It is not running.
Put it in neutral.
So I can show you guys. I don't know if you can see the fan or not.
It's not running. We got it.
Not running right now. In neutral.
Hit it.
You ready?
Hit it.
All right, let's see if you can do it.
Do it. Got Rooster.
Oh, yeah. Look at her work. Look at her work. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. She's working hard.
Looks like a tractor pull. I'm waiting for the engine to blow out the side.
All right.
Kill it. There you go. Rooster in his truck. He's got a little, it looks like someone made that truck for him, and so he was pulling that Scottsdale. That Scottsdale pretty heavy. That's all metal truck right there. That's good American steel is what they call it in the business. That's American steel. And speaking of American steel, this video right here is going to steal your heart. This little girl right here, I guess, lives on a little bunny ranch, and she's got treats and stuff in her hands, and it's her job to go out there and feed all the rabbits. And if you want to see this video as well, go over to ProfitRadio.com. So she goes out there with a bag of treats, and all these hundreds and hundreds of bunnies chase her up and down the pen, the rabbit pen, and she's freaking out. Let's see. There you go. Becca. She can't move. All the rabbits are around her. And they're all chasing her. Shake the bag. All the rabbits. Feed us. Feed us. Never so many hungry bunnies in one place. So there's like a huge rabbit run and stuff. And there's probably 100 or so rabbits out here. This is in Brazil. Run, run. Watch them all chase all little hippity-hoppity butts up and down. All right, guys, we'd like to thank each and every one of you for listening. Oh, she fell. We'd like to thank each and every one of you for listening to us, downloading us, being a part of the podcast. We appreciate each and every one of you out there. And my name is the Deacon. We're going to let you guys get back to what you got to do. My name is the Deacon, saying goodnight and goodnight. Bye. See you later. I don't know why I did this.